Hi, my name is Ernest Hutta. Welcome to Natural Alternatives. Natural Alternatives is a group of practitioners here in Monaga, Minnesota that work together, the synergy of practitioners working to help you heal and rejuvenate your health. Today, we're going to spend some time talking a little bit, a very brief overview of an issue that people suffer with and we see in our clinic very regularly called carpal tunnel syndrome. And the basic concept of carpal tunnel syndrome is that there is a pinched nerve in the wrist, and it's called a medium nerve, in this portion of the wrist that will come down and create typically a referral of numbness or tingling and pain in these, the index finger, the middle finger, and the thumb, this branch area. And so we'll be showing a picture later that demonstrates the techniques that are done in the medical profession to address releasing this. The idea is that swelling or inflammation or irritation of this carpal band, which you could visualize, a tendinofascial band that goes around your wrist and your muscles and nerves passing through this. The idea is to go in and do surgery to release this and take the pressure off the nerve. That's going to resolve the numbness and tingling and pain and irritation that people experience. Now, there's a very easy little test that we do in our clinic to help find out, is this actually a positive test for carpal tunnel? So what I'll do is take the person's wrist and bend it back. And number one, if they start feeling increased pain or tingling or numbness just with this move, that's potentially a good indication that the carpal band is compressing this nerve. But it also is very easy demonstrated by just tapping on the wrist, the palm of the wrist and the area in here and asking, do you feel numbness or tingling when I do this? Is it increased pain or discomfort? No? Okay. So again, if a person doesn't feel any increased pain or discomfort when I tip that wristband, what I'm doing is putting this in extension, and that medial nerve is even under more compression. And theoretically, if they had full carpal tunnel syndrome, this should hurt more. They should have pain, much more pain or tingling, shooting and discomfort going on in the thumb and index finger. And most of the time when people come to me saying, well, I've been diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome, and I do these little simple tests, I don't find that they have actually a positive response to carpal tunnel syndrome. So what else is the issue? Well, this interesting whole branch of nerves that feed the entire arm and wrist and fingers and all this comes through the forearm, up into the shoulder, your neck, upper back. In fact, in one of my lessons when we talk about a syndrome called thoracic outlet syndrome, we've seen vascular components and neurological components create symptoms that can be numbness, tingling, and pain. And so in our clinic, what I try to do is, if in fact they produce a positive test to carpal tunnel syndrome, I'm going to go in and try to use microcurrent therapy. We use a machine called an electroacuoscope, and I'm going to go in and, using this device, come in and treat this entire nerve. So I'll put a pad through here and a pad through here, but I'm also going to treat all the extensor and all the flexor muscle groups and all the way up into the shoulder and forearm in here, because again, there's a very simple rule of thumb to understand about nerve compression, or the idea of entrapment, encroachment, or impingement. And that is, it's 6 times more likely to entrap, encroach, or impinge a nerve in muscle than it is within a joint or bone in an articulation. And remember, the concept of carpal tunnel syndrome is that it's in a compression of the bone structure and the articulation of this wrist. Sometimes it's actually a wrist that is actually out of place. We've many times recommended people go to see a chiropractor and get the adjustment of the wrist bones, because there are many bones that make up this complex structure of your wrist. So we'll recommend that. But many times it just comes down to simply treating all the damaged muscles or irritation. And the other unfortunate part I try to tell people is to avoid the surgery if at all possible, because there is also post-surgical complications. And not to say that there isn't times where surgery is beneficial. In fact, some people come back with incredible results. But when you go in and do surgery and you start slicing this carpal band, you're also creating scar tissue. And scar tissue can be your nemesis down the road. I've seen people come into our clinic and having a lot of pain and discomfort because of the scar tissue that has actually now become the source of pain and discomfort. So again, it's not always a win-win deal. Our goal using the electroacuoscope is to go in and treat and hyperstimulate these damaged areas. And in her case, I'm going to go in. She's had some carpal tunnel symptoms, not syndrome, but symptoms. And we're going to go in and actually start treating that and helping her get rid of some of the pain and discomfort. So again, I'm coming in over the top side. The typical point of compression for the carpal band is in the wrist on the inside. So we're going to drive that juice right straight through. And I'm going to do this along with putting heat on here. The key here is that if you're suffering with this dysfunction, please come into our clinic, get a chance and opportunity to see what Natural Alternatives can do. The synergy of people like Dr. Mark Wheaton and Dr. Dave Gottenborg and Dr. Anderson, myself, and our staff of therapists that can help you try to resolve this issue and hopefully avoid surgery. Thank you very much, and get on our website, look at our trailer about Natural Alternatives.
Thank you for watching Wellness for Life.